I got all my feline friends gathered up here. I got quite the treat for them this morning. I got some bone left from the deer. Pretty much took off all the good meat I could. What I'm gonna do is use the hatchet. We're gonna break it up into a couple pieces and feed it to them. Excited? It's a bit chilly out here this morning. We had some heavy winds and rains last night. Let's see how this goes. We got one piece. Try to break it up into a couple pieces for them. It's not the best quality hatchet, but if you give it a good swing, you'll be able to break it up. There we go. Right down the middle. We got a couple pieces here. Hungry? One for you. Come here, buddy. One for you. Let's give her this one. One for you. Emma ran over there to finish up her bone. We still got a couple pieces to hand out to them. We'll give this bigger piece to the young buck. There you go, bud. Here. Enjoy. Emma, you want seconds? Come here. Come here, Emma. Hungry? Yeah. If there's one word they really listen to, it's hungry. Good girl. Now that we got the end of the hatchet cleaned off, we're gonna put it back in its rightful place for next time. Taking a quick peek into the field. I don't see any of the sheep out here. They might be down on the other half or in their barn. Set my bag in its rightful spot. It's cold enough out here. I figured I'd go ahead and keep the door shut, keep the wind off of me. Brought up this dryer. It's missing a door handle. Looks like we got a penny in here as well. Nice. Got a broken head unit. We're gonna see what we can do with this today. I also started last night tearing apart this Maytag washer. It's got a leak here on the main seal. We'll see if we can get it repaired or maybe just swap the transmission. I took those plastic ends off the head unit. Also took the back panel off the head unit in order to see what's broken here. Looks like the plastics and the metal screw point are pretty much not doing their job. The plastics are gone. What we can do with this is just screw it directly to the top end. But before I even do any of that, we're gonna go ahead and get it opened up and see what's going on inside. Front end removed. Check this out. Quite the buildup in here. Looks like somebody wasn't cleaning out their lint trap. Got a bunch of buildup in the machine. Let's dive in a little deeper. Drum removed. This thing is definitely in rough shape. You can see this element is obliterated. I think I do have these elements, so we should be able to replace the element. This piece here should pull out. Yep. This is what the drum rides on. It's actually got 3 screws I had to take off. Looks like there's a bunch of lint in the back of the drum we'll have to clean out. It needs a good cleanup job and a new element. That's what I see so far. But I think we should be able to get it back up and running. I wanted to make sure I had all the parts for the repair before I started it, so I hunted down a new element. We're good to go there, but after taking a better look at the bearing, I could tell it was all wore away, which will cause us problems when it comes time to spin. So I found a new one, or a used one that's still good. You can see it should be a nice smooth ball. You put a little bit of grease to it and it sits inside this bearing support, which is where our problem lies. This thing has got a big gaping hole in the bottom. You can't reuse it. It will just cause issues. The problem is I don't have another one of these. So I'll have to order it. Costs about 12 bucks online, no big deal. But I won't be able to finish up this repair today. I don't want to half-ass anything. So we're going to have to just pack this stuff up and finish it at a later date. Moving on, I got this Kenmore 70 series direct drive that I'm going to run on a test cycle. I replaced the timer on it about 2 days ago and I haven't had a chance to test it. So we're gonna see how that works. Let's see what we can do with this washer that I took the transmission out last night. Look at these guys making their way too close to the road. Get your ass back. It's always the goats causing trouble. Fat boy dragging along behind him. Got the child lock bypass. That way I can see it running. Seems to be doing its thing so far. Trying to figure out some kind of solution for this Maytag washer. It is the transmission causing the leakage issue. It's not the main seal. It's in good shape. It's actually this seal here that the agitator shaft comes through. You can see it's really loose. There's some water in there right now, and it's leaving a gap. So what's happening is the water is traveling down the shaft, past the bearings, and it's spitting out here. This explains why everything here is wet and also why there's a circular puddle underneath the machine when it's operating. The problem is you really can't do much to these newer transmissions. They are pinned shut, no screws. The bearing's tucked up in there, so even if you wanted to replace it or the main seal, you couldn't do it without tearing the whole damn thing apart and destroying it. They don't make it easy for you anymore. I don't have many options other than to order a new one, which costs a bit of money and really isn't worth me doing it for this machine. So what I'm gonna do is took the motor off, it's good, and took off all the other good parts, and we're gonna scrap out the rest. The good news is this old school direct drive is back up and running. After a timer swap, it's cycling through like it should. It wasn't doing that previously. The last thing we're gonna do is clean it up real good and test it again. Nothing runs like the old school stuff. I had somebody give me a call. They said they need a dryer repair. So we're gonna load up all the tools, grab a couple parts, and see what we can do. I'm gonna turn the van on, let it warm up a bit. Got my tools and some parts loaded up. Looks like my dad made his way home. Picked up some pallets of clothes. Should be able to get it unloaded with the tractor. If not, he'll wait till I get back. Let's hit the road and see what we can finish up. Job finished up quick and easy. Took me about 30 minutes to swap out the wheels. They were having some noise issues. Put some new wheels on it, re-greased it, passing by this airport here. Let's head back to the house. Looks like my dad got those pallets unloaded. Also looks like he's got a couple appliances in there for me. We got the truck emptied out. While I was on that service call, he took the pallets out with the tractor. I got the rest of those machines taken out. Let's move on to the next job. We're gonna get this washer moved inside. I went ahead and unloaded the van. Got all the parts and stuff. This was the bad wheel that I replaced. It's all wore out. That thing's garbage. We need channel locks. Let's try to get a couple things done. This came in on the load my dad just got. Looks like somebody's been tearing some things apart because the back panel is off. This washer we swapped the timer on. One last thing I have to do. There's these little plastic tabs up here that hold the head unit in place, and these two are both broken. You can see no ending on them. This is what they should look like. Little endings on them. Fairly simple. I also got to find two endings for the head unit, which we're missing. And we're going to need two screws here. This dryer came in on today's load. Looks like somebody's already been messing around with it. They took off both the back panels. They also removed the thermostat. We'll have to find a new one of those. I checked all the sensors and the heating element. They're reading continuity. It is missing one of the bolts for the connection screws, but that's no big deal. Spinning around the front, I think I've already diagnosed the problem. Child lock is broken, so we'll have to replace that. I'm not going to jump into fixing it tonight, but what I will do is get it prepped up. I'm going to remove the front end, the belt, and the drum. So that way in the morning I can come through, find all the missing pieces, clean it up, re-grease it, and get it tested. We got this dryer broken down and ready to go for tomorrow. I got to get the dogs fed. She's getting a little antsy. We're going to close down shop for tonight. We'll be back out here tomorrow. You hungry? Come on, buddy. Hungry?